Tonight is a very special episode about doing right, and then everything will be okay. I mean, whoever would have thought that the coolest guy in high school would be the first one voted off The Bachelorette?
Is it more embarrassing to be the first one voted off the show than not to make it at all?
I know I personally am never going to let him live this down. I mean, if he hadn't made it on the show, he could have at least always denied that he'd ever auditioned. I think he's going to be a villain in the next issue of Captain Awesome.
You still see him?
Nope, never. I haven't seen him since graduation.
Then how did you know he was on the show?
My mom told me, yeah.
Is it more embarrassing to be on The Bachelorette or to admit watching The Bachelorette?
All right, what's going on here? Are you boys discussing anything interesting?
I've admitted nothing.
So you don't normally watch the show? That's right, I'm asking you. Straight up.
No, I'm too busy writing my comic books, and I spend so much, time thinking about, how to write stories, stories of masculinity. We're talking about nothing interesting at all here.
I think this is very interesting.
I'm not following this at all.
Don't you just hate it when you come into the middle of a conversation, you have no idea what's going on?
Right now, I would probably say yes.
Well, the only sensible thing is to talk about something else.
I'm going on record. You watch the show.
Not continuing this conversation.
All right, great, done. Changing conversation. David, are you still going with me to the precinct?
Yeah, I want to.
What are you going to the precinct for? Did you fail a urine test?
I just want to write about it on my blog.
Do people actually read that?
Do people really want to read a comic book called Captain Awesome? I mean, corny.
Who decided to call the precinct anyway? I mean, it makes police seem all authoritative because their office has a special name.
I really don't think that's what does it.
That and guns.
You should shoot somebody right now.
And those sticks they beat people with. What do they call those things again?
If you said beating stick, I think people might get it.
This conversation is futile.
A tear gas, too.
Hey boys, you can look at my files and copy anything you think is funny, but you never got it from me, and you were never here.
What is your definition of a crooked cop?
I'm a cop, not a dictionary.
Well, I mean, with the Freedom of Information Act and the Constitution, with the First Amendment, I just know that people have a right to know funny things that happen to criminals.
I'm not sure you're reading that exactly right. I mean, I'm not an online blogger or anything. Excuse me, gentlemen. Hey, listen, Jess, there's a guy here who says that two men and a cop walked out of a restaurant earlier today without paying.
And this concerns me how? How does this concern me again? I ate at my desk. I'm not really sure how this concerns me.
Oh, well, okay, but I mean, it's your day with the sketch artist, and I ain't going down there with that weirdo if I don't have to, and I don't have to, because it's your day.
Of course. Where's my mind? Oh dear, that's funny.
I mean, that don't strike me as funny or nothing, but okay, I mean, I ain't with all them hypno stuff, but I mean, it's your day, so.
I'll be there in a sec. I really hope you paid.
We totally forgot. It was David's turn, though.
I was flustered.
Hopefully you didn't see me. Maybe we can figure some way to get out of this.
He just talked to you. I think he saw you.
I was meaning the waiter. Alright, so what's going on here?
Well, these two guys came in today, and they were totally bogus. You know, like they were up to no good.
Really? Like what?
Well, these dudes were acting like they totally watched a Tarantino flick.
What?
You know, like they were making all these beat comments, like to them they thought they were totally agging, but to us, you know, we're outside of their little crime world, and it ain't so funny. It's like these little inside jokes, you know, not really funny, but because they're friends, they think they're totally, hilarious.
That was confusing. Really confusing. But I think I know what you mean. It's the stuff where your friends never explain to you why it's funny, and you're like, this is totally idiotic.
Righteous! Like for me, like at my restaurant, the dishwasher and the cook are always doing stuff like that. This dude's got a lazy eye, and I can't even tell if he's looking at me or not. It seems like he's always looking at me funny. Maybe he planned the whole thing.
Somehow, I don't think so. So, did you get a good look at these fellows?
Oh, yeah, I could spot them anywhere. The cop friend of theirs, I didn't see so good, but she had a righteous body. That's a shame. But these two guys, I'll never forget their faces.
Never forget them?
Never!
Positive?
For sure!
Oh, good. Great. All right, look, this is a petty crime, and maybe even their first crime. So in some cases, these petty thieves will realize the error of their ways, and
Well, if they go back to the restaurant, the cashier has a shotgun hidden underneath his register.
Well, that's just a little over-intimidating and a little bit out of control.
Yeah, so?
If I was to tell you that these two guys are already here at the station,
I would give you mad props. That is incredibly efficient. I haven't even described the second guy yet.
Yeah, well, look, they have the money and they just forgot to pay.
No, this thing was totally planned. They will pay in years served.
No, they will pay their bill with a great tip, and that will be good.
No, it won't. It won't work.
Yes, it will, because if it's not, one of them's going to write on his blog that your restaurant has rats.
I'd hate to slander your restaurant's name and everything, so please just let us pay for our lunch and forget the whole thing.
You would be willing to run my business through the ground to save your skin?
We don't want to go to jail. I'm kind of a germaphobe, and I really don't think those prison cells are very clean.
Look, I've seen every episode of Oz, and I don't want to be on the inside, so we're pretty much willing to do whatever to stay out.
Ooh, on the inside, that kind of makes you sound like, well, you're actually on the inside. It's like a real criminal. We aren't really criminals. We didn't mean to steal anything.
Well, if Paris Hilton could make it in the joint, I mean...
You still could not.
Well, because I care about my business, and I can see you're willing to sink lower than I guess I'll just have to accept the money. But I want an 18% tip. Just pay for your grub, and we'll call it square.
I'm not paying 18%.
Well, I'll just lead you right on down the hall to the holding cell.
18% sounds fair.
Fine, great. I'd love to give you 18.
20 even.
Oh, don't push it. The service warranted it, that's for sure. I mean, the 18%, just so we're clear.
Stellar, I guess.
Listen, could you spot me a few bucks?
How much?
More like, could you spot me enough to cover the entire bill?